At a time when Sri Lankans have been severely affected by the economic crisis in the country and where extreme weather has hit certain communities that are already helpless, worsening their situation, Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa will present the budget proposal for the year 2022, outlining the economic policies of the country in an attempt to revive the local economy. Good afternoon. This is Lunchtime News on TV1. Before we head on to your stories in detail, here's a look at your top stories for this afternoon.
Propositions to be made to resolve the economic crisis. Finance Minister to present Budget 2022 this afternoon. Will Budget 2022 resolve the teachers' principal salary anomaly issue? Government to look into the plight of farmers. 3 successive sixes takes Australia to the finals of the ICC World T20.
Starting off with an update of the extreme weather prevalent across the island, the number of people affected by the extreme weather has increased to 230,185. More than 12,700 people among them are currently at safe shelters. 26 deaths have been reported so far as a result of landslides. The Disaster Management Centre said that operations are underway to locate people reported missing. A total of 17 districts have been affected by the incessant rains. The Met Department said that showers exceeding 75 millimeters can be experienced in several areas in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and northwestern provinces.
Showers or thunder showers are likely at a few places in the Uva province and in Ampara and Batiklo districts in the evening hours or tonight. Strong winds up to 40 to 50 kilometers per hour are likely over the island. The Met Department further noted that another low pressure area will be developed along the South Andaman Sea areas by tomorrow. The fishing and naval communities are advised to be vigilant in this regard. The weather forecast predicts that seas from Puttlam, Colombo, Galle and Hambantota can be rough from time to time. The Met Department said that the sea areas extending from Puttlam to Hambantota via Colombo and Galle may experience surges due to the effects of swell waves having 2.5 to 3 meters height.
Several areas in the country still continue to receive heavy rainfall, which has resulted in a number of other natural disasters, including landslides and floods. The Kaduganawa section of the Colombo-Kandy main road continues to remain closed due to a risk of landslides.
The Disaster Management Centre noted that further inspections will be conducted in the lower Kaduganawa area along the Colombo-Kandy main road. Assistant Director of the DMC for the Galle district, Anushka Chamila, noted following the inspections, a decision will be taken on whether or not the road can be reopened. Meanwhile, District Secretary of Galle, Mahinda S. Vijay Surya, said that shop owners in the area have been advised to close down their shops. The lower Kaduganawa section of the Colombo-Kandy main road was closed since 10 on Wednesday due to a risk of landslides. Our correspondent noted the area between Tummodara and Napthandiya was inundated for the 5th day today. As a result, vehicular movement along the road was hampered. According to our correspondent, several houses in the area have been completely submerged in water.
Teams from Gum at the Sahana Yatra who volunteered to lend a helping hand to the people affected by the extreme weather continued distributing relief packs even throughout the night yesterday.
Despite the challenges in reaching the areas worst affected by the extreme weather, the gum at the teams reached Jaffna yesterday. Dry rations were distributed among the residents of Marudankeni, Champianpattu, Nagarkovil, Palali Antonipuram, Sendankulam and Mallakam villages in the Jaffna district yesterday.
Moving on to news from Parliament today, of course, the highlight is the fact that the 76th budget of Sri Lanka will be presented in Parliament today. Now, this budget is being presented against a backdrop where the entire country is facing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, a fertilizer shortage, a food crisis, and also issues in salary anomalies.
The budget proposal for 2022 will be presented in Parliament at 2 p.m. today by Minister of Finance Basil Rajapaksa. The teacher-principal salary anomaly that has lasted for over 25 years is expected to be resolved through the budget. An estimated sum of 30 billion rupees is expected to be allocated for this purpose. According to what the Ministry of Finance has stated, the budget proposal for 2022 will attempt to transform the country's market economy into a production economy. It has also reported that the budget 2022 aims to use Sri Lanka's strategic location for the economic revival of the country.
After the budget speech is made by the Finance Minister, the debate on the second reading of the budget will continue for 7 days. Afterwards, the vote on the second reading of the budget will take place. After that, individual expenditure heads of ministries will be debated for 16 days. After the conclusion of the debates on the expenditure heads, the vote on the third reading of the budget will take place. That will take place on the 10th of December. After that, vote on the budget proposal will be passed. Due to the COVID-19 situation in the country, we will not be able to invite all the guests we usually invite for the budget reading. Invitations have only been sent to high commissioners and ambassadors. The traditional tea party will also take place as usual. It will be held with the participation of a limited number of people and subject to strict health guidelines. Everyone who enters the parliament today will be subject to a rapid antigen test. Only those who get a negative report will be allowed to enter the parliamentary premises.
12th November 2021, the day of the 2022 budget. KPMG Budget Analysis by S.R. Artigala, Secretary to the Treasury, Ministry of Finance. Sanjay Mohotala, Chairman, Board of Investments of Sri Lanka. Lakshman Silva, Chairman of Sri Lanka Banks Association and the CEO of DFCC Bank. Suresh Dimel, Chairman and Chief Executive of the Sri Lanka Export Development Board. Murtaza Jafarji, Chairman of Advocata Institute. Priyanka Disabandara, Tax Advisor, Ministry of Finance. Sanat Ukwatta, President of the Hotel Association of Sri Lanka and Chairman of the Mount Lavinia Hotel Group. Suresh Pereira, Principal Tax and Regulatory Division of KPMG Sri Lanka. Moderated by Reyaz Mihula, Managing Partner, KPMG Sri Lanka. Friday the 12th of November from 7:20 p.m. to 9 p.m. live on Microsoft Teams. Airing on TV1 from 10 p.m.
The Ceylon Teachers Union expressed these views regarding the budget for the year 2022.
අයවැයෙන් රුපියල් බිලියන 30ක් වෙන් කරනවා කියලා මුදල් ඇමතිවරයා ප්‍රකාශ කරා.
The Minister of Finance said that 30 billion rupees will be allocated from the budget to resolve this issue. Although we have taken a small break from this struggle, the struggle is far from over. Please don't try to deceive us by lying to us again. Please issue a gazette by January next year and give the teachers the 1/3 of the salary they deserve on the 20th of January.
තුනෙන් එක ලබා දෙන්න කියන ඉල්ලීම කරනවා.
The fertilizer crisis in the country has still not been solved. Sowing of seeds in paddy fields of Buddangala and Malwatta in Ampara began about a week ago. About 1,000 acres of paddy fields are to be cultivated for the Maha season. However, farmers continue to complain that they have not received any fertilizer to date. We have not received any liquid nitrogen fertilizer. We do not think that there will be any use in doing this, since we didn't want to let all of this water go to waste and we had already purchased paddy. After pawning our jewelry, we did this.
Although we are farming, we have no fertilizer. We request the President to at least give us the urea that we need. How can we live like this? We are helpless. We don't have organic fertilizer. We have not received any fertilizer up to date. They say fertilizer was given to Ampara, but we did not receive anything.
We have no agrochemicals and we have no way of doing anything. We have lost so much. We have turned into beggars. If not for the farmers, how will the people in the country get rice? We cannot continue to import rice from overseas.
A program to sell vegetables from Nuwara to state sector employees and people at housing complexes in Colombo was commenced under the auspices of Minister Chamal Rajapaksa. The vegetables purchased directly from the farmers are packed while adhering to health guidelines and sold to the state sector employees in parcels worth 400 and 600 rupees.
The ජීවන වියදම අඩු කරන්න මේ සැරේ අයවැය අද පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ ගේනවා. මේකේ ජනතාවට සහන ලැබෙයිද කොහොමද ජනතාව බලාපොරොත්තු වෙමින් ඉන්නව ඒකනේ. මම ඒක හවස 4න් පස්සේ කියන්න. එතකොට ගොවියන්ට කොහොමද සහනය ලැබෙන්නේ? ගොවියන්ට නම් සහනය ලැබෙනවා.
The Committee on Public Enterprise, or COPE, has recommended for an internal investigation to be carried out on the controversial salary and allowance payments made to employees of the Board of Investment.
No board of directors can make payments outside of the guidelines laid down by government circulars. No board of directors has been conferred with such broad powers. Your board of directors had paid a sum of 8 million rupees to 28 officials from 2020 as drivers' allowances. This cannot be done at any government institution. If an official who is given an official vehicle gets a 50,000 rupee fuel allowance and another allowance, he cannot be given another driver's allowance. But this institution had given driver's allowances, fuel allowances, and had paid another allowance to the executive's driver. Also, the former Director General of the Board of Investment had been recruited as a consultant subject to board approval. She had been paid a total sum of 13.37 million rupees, inclusive of her salary, a vehicle, fuel allowance and driver's allowances from May 1st, 2020 to April 2021. This institution had paid salaries to 2 Director Generals this year.
මොකද්ද මෙතන වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එක ගැන පැහැදිලි කිරීමක් එක්ක ඇඩ්වයිසර් කෙනෙක් ගන්න කැබිනට් අප්‍රූවල් එකක් අවශ්‍යද? නෑ අවශ්‍යයි. එහෙම එකක් නෑ මෙතන. කැබිනට් අප්‍රූවල් එකක් තියනවද? නෑ එහෙම ගන්න නෑ. කාගේ හිතුමතේටද 1.1 මිලියන් මාසෙකට ගෙවලා කෙනෙක් තියන්නේ ඉන්නේ? බෝඩ් එකෙන් අරන් තියෙන්නේ. බෝඩ් එකට ගන්න බෑනේ. ගන්න බෑ. ඒක තමයි දැන් මේ නෛතික ප්‍රශ්න.
Yes, they cannot take a decision like that. This is a legal issue. Was there anyone after this? You cannot create positions like that. The state has a structure to create positions. There is a salary cadre commission. That is how this is done. Or it is the cabinet that does it.
ඒකෙන් තමයි මේවා කියන්නේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් කැබිනට් එක.
ඇඩ්වයිසර් කෙනෙක්ට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ගෙවන්නේ රුපියල් 75000ක විතර පඩියක්. allowance එක. මේ ඇඩ්වයිසර් කොහොමද මිලියන් එකක් ගෙවුවේ?
මේක සම්බන්ධව මීට වඩා එහාට ගිය ඉන්ක්වයරි එකක් කිරීම අවශ්‍යයි. ඉන්ටර්නල් ඉන්ක්වයරි එකක් අපි සජෙස්ට් කරමු මේ ලේකම් කාර්යාලයෙන් කරන්න කියලා.
කිසිම සභාපතිවරයෙක්ට කිසිම
We did not believe that any chairman or official was paid this much. We didn't even know about it. The precedent set by paying millions like this without any cabinet approval is wrong. The people are watching. There is a question as to if even the president was aware. The president said that this must be changed and done in a new way.
The Colombo-Katunayaka Expressway will be closed from the Paliaguda interchange to the Kalani Bridge from 6 a.m. to 12 midnight on Sunday, the 14th of November. The Road Development Authority said the road closure is due to the construction of the new Kalani Bridge. Motorists are advised to use the Colombo-Kandy Road and the Colombo-Negombo Road as alternatives to minimize any inconvenience. A construction worker working at a construction site in Kirunapana along the Baseline Road died due to a tragic accident today.
The individual had died after he fell into a pothole dug to lay pipes at the Edmonton Lane along Baseline Road, Kirunapana. Police media spokesperson SSP Nihal Taldua said that the deceased was 19 years old. The police further said that his remains were taken to the Colombo National Hospital.
South Korea has announced that Sri Lankan migrant employees will be able to enter Korea and assume their new jobs very soon.
It gives me great pleasure to announce that the newly entering Sri Lankan migrant employees will be able to enter Korea and assume their new jobs very soon. Recently, the Korean government decided to resume the entry of new Sri Lankan workers and workers from other foreign countries to Korea in the near future. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, only re-entering migrant workers had been able to enter Korea, and the entry of new foreign workers to Korea had been restricted. However, the vaccination rate is getting high enough to accommodate the foreign workers, and the worldwide COVID-19 situation has become more stable.